Um, so Tennessee Tech, just overall thoughts after watching it. You know, just super heartbroken for those kids. To be perfectly honest with you, man, just super heartbroken for those players, for our players, because um, it's kind of one of those deals where everybody was kind of wondering. I wonder when the old racers will return. I wonder, when the ball's going to drop, and it hasn't. It hasn't all season, and it did Saturday. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't know. We'll discuss it today as a team, and ultimately that falls on my shoulders because I didn't have them ready to play. But I'm just heartbroken for those guys because again, it's kind of the same old man. There's the pain of discipline. There's that pain of going through the processes and going through the things that you need to prepare for victory and to prepare for a game. And then there's the pain of regret. And today, and yesterday, we had the boys come in. They checked in, did their ice baths and all that, and you could tell there was a lot of regret, just because, man, it's so hard to realize when you're in the moment. It's so hard to realize that there is no do-over. There is no mulligan in football. There is no rewind button. You can't go back and play those games. And if you waste an opportunity, you waste an opportunity, and you don't get it back. We just made too many mistakes. We go through all of the thing, and penalties were our demise, especially offensively. Penalties were our demise. Penalties were our demise defensively, man. If we jump off sides one more time on third downs, I'm going to puke. So there's a lot of things that we have to get corrected. And again, all of that stuff falls on me. I'm just heartbroken for the guys because I didn't feel like we were ready to go compete at a high level. That's what it boils down to. I didn't feel like we were ready to go and amped up enough to compete at a high level. And we kind of lost our edge a little bit. We've been playing with a huge edge the previous weeks and just playing very, very hard, and we didn't do that Saturday. We put a lot of bad stuff, a lot of bad effort, and a lot of bad stuff on tape. So today's a very important day, especially for me, because we've got to get the mentality of this football team back, and we've got to get them back to that edge and back to that sense of urgency and back to that kind of reckless way that we like to play and that we became known for a 4-week span there, and really kind of a 5-week span there where we were going to play on our toes and not on our heels, and we were going to be playing forward and not backwards, and we've got to get back to that. Whether that's we're going to watch some videos of some lions chasing some gazelles or something today, because that's what we've got to get back to, is that type of mentality today, because we've got the thing about it is it's been I don't know, so I think like 14 years or something since Murray State was 6-2 in the conference. Okay, they ended the year 6-2 in the conference. So there's still a ton to look forward to for this football team, this football program, for these seniors who've been around here for a long time. The Quincy Williams and the Blacks and the Rashad Johnsons and the Silas Owens, who have spent their whole career here. And I know I'm missing some other folks, but for those guys who've spent their whole career here through the ups and downs, man, there's a lot still at stake to play for these next 2 weeks, and we've got to make sure that those guys understand that, and we kind of get that edge back about us in that way that we play, so that we can earn the right to be successful Saturday.
You had a change at center. Did that impact the timing of those things in any way whatsoever?
Yeah, we had some. I mean, we had some injuries. We that I didn't let on to, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. Everybody's got them, and and you've got to deal with them, and you got to make your adjustments and all of that kind of stuff. But we got pretty beat up front. Cam played on one leg for a little bit until we had to take him out. Cam Carter did, and then we had to make a change at center with Levi, putting Austin Jones in at center. He started the game because Levi's got a little back deal, and we wound up finishing the game with Levi. We put Levi in at the last drive. It's probably just one drive too late, but that's life, man. People get their opportunities, and they got to be ready they got to be ready when their number's called, and we're gonna have some more guys do that this week, so it is what it is. You just got to respond to it the right way. And those guys, they go out there and Austin did an admirable job. Had a couple of timing issues and snap issues and some things like that. Kind of first game jitters. But we'll get him worked out of it. And if we have to go to that situation again, then he'll be fine.
You talk about this opportunity that's still left on the table. How do you keep the team focused on what has been a really, really good season team?
Well, I think you don't focus on them. We focus on us. We go back to doing the things. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we go back to doing the things that got us to this point. And preparing the way that we need to prepare to get us to this point. And that's little things, man. That's no absences for ice baths. Nobody late to ice baths. That's cleaning up your plate at the hotel when you're done eating it. Even though there's people in there that are taking those plates, picking up your plate, taking it to them, and saying, "Hey, how can I help you?" It's getting on the bus on time. It's just all those little things that go into that culture, right? That culture that we've worked hard to create right there, because culture eats strategy for breakfast every day of the week. It's the bottom line, and you've got to be 100% convicted about whatever you're doing, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're 100% convicted about what you're doing, you'll be successful at it, and that's kind of what's got us to this point. I think Saturday that broke a little bit when we got down. I think that broke. I don't think, just to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think any of our kids thought that was going to be the way that game would start off. And then when it did, we kind of had a chink in our armor. Like, for the first time, I sensed it on the sidelines where we just kind of, I don't know, maybe for lack of better terms, freaked out a little bit, maybe. And that's not us. That's not this football team. It's not the way this football team's been the whole year. So it's a very easy thing to correct because it's been there. It's just we got hit in the mouth and weren't really expecting to get hit in the mouth, and we didn't hit back until it was too late. We didn't hit back. So the only way to correct that, to answer your question, the only way to correct that is focus on us. We focus on us. Today is Monday. It's supposed to be nasty weather, but we can go outside. We're going to go outside. We're going to go outside. We're going to get some work in. Doesn't matter if it's raining or whatever. As long as it's not lightning, we're going to go out and we're going to earn the right to win Saturday. And we're going to go through practice and we're going to do the things that we have to do this week of practice to earn the right to win Saturday. So we're going to focus on us.
Tell us about Southeast Missouri, Marquise Terry, running back, player of the year candidate, newcomer of the year candidate, Daniel Santa, and Arena. Pretty good offense.
They're really good. They're a really good football team. And I tell you, the interesting thing about them is I see the same thing in them that we tried to create. And what I mean by that is when I watched them play Jacksonville State, they played with an edge. And it was almost like that was the game for me that was kind of the tipping point for them. When I watched that game, I was like, it was kind of one of those deals where you're like, whoa. And they've kind of kept that edge. You know what I mean? They're very physical. They play very hard. And they've got talented players, but then they've got some guys that just play very, very hard. They play outside of themselves and outside of their abilities. And I think that's the biggest thing when you watch them. Offensively, that quarterback is outstanding. Like their running backs are outstanding. Now, don't get me wrong, but I think that quarterback gives them the opportunity to be like that because you can't just devote all your eggs to one basket and try to stop those running backs because he'll throw it on you too. Defensively, schematically, they drive everybody in the league crazy because they play bear defense and they've got three big Waller hogs on the inside and got a lot of dudes out on the perimeter and in the flats and stuff like that. So they put a lot of people around the box. But more so than all of that, they've got an edge about them. Like they've got a personality. They've got an identity. When you watch them on tape, they have an identity, and they just play very hard. They look like they have a lot of fun playing ball. And I think that's the reason why I'm so excited and the reason why I'm so charged up is because before this past weekend, that was us. That was us. That's the exact same thing that we did. That's the exact same thing that we do. We just decided for whatever reason on one Saturday not to do that. And so for me, like as the head coach of it, the offensive plays and all of that kind of stuff, that's not – I'm not worried about all of that to an extent. This is my challenge. Like this is what gets me up in the morning, and because I've got to figure out ways to get that back for our guys, to get that edge about them, to get that twinkle back in their eye, to get that little league type mentality where we've talked about it before, where you go out and you drink Dr. Pepper and eat a zero bar and you go out there and play, and you play until you can't play no more, until all you want to do is take a nap. And that's what we're going to get back to this week, and that's my challenge, and that's going to be my charge for this football team, is getting back to that brand of ball, because that brand of ball is fun. That's fun. That's what people want to watch when you play football.
You and I talked a little bit about this on Saturday, but what do you feel like was the biggest problem in the running game other than it not ever getting going against Tech? Tech was giving up about 240 yards a game on the ground. Do you feel like it was more schematically them taking away from you?
No, not really. I mean, that's kind of the frustrating part. I mean, we didn't run very well versus light boxes, and that's, you know, that was the big conversation from a schematic standpoint. That was the biggest conversation that we had as a staff was you know, when they're going to give you the run, you've got to be able to take advantage of it, and we just never did that. And it was some very fundamental errors that kind of you make your head, you know, kind of scratch your head when you get to watch it on tape. Some of which we corrected during the course of the game, and some of which we saw on Sunday, and it's kind of like, my goodness, man, you know, we should have caught this. But that was ultimately the deal with the run game. I mean, we ran it enough. I tried it. I think I had like 30 attempts, something like that. And I did it because that was what they were giving us. That was, you know, it was a 5-man box. It was 5-on-5. And when you get 5-on-5, you got to win. You got to win that scenario every time. On the flip side of that, I thought Drew Anderson was incredible. To be honest with you, man, dude threw like six incompletions, 2 of which just happened to be big-time interceptions. You know, and one of them kind of killed us in a sense. You know, the red zone interception off the corner, that was kind of a dagger. That one hurt, but that dude, the way he played with his feet, made some plays with his feet. Made some big-time throws. The 4th down throw to Rajay, you know, for a 1st down. The 3rd down throw to Rajay, which again, Rajay, another guy that kind of got his opportunity, made the most out of it. You know, Drew was incredible. But we just got to help him out, man. We got to help him out. Those backs are back there, and they're really good. And that front five's been really good. But for whatever reason, man, that day, just could not get it going against the look that you want to get it going against.
The kick return trick play, is that gone?
Yeah, I mean, that was, we actually had it 2 weeks ago and never got to run it 2 weeks ago against Jacksonville State because they kicked it out of the end zone both times. And that'll be one that haunts us for a little while because it's about as open as it can be. You watch it on tape, and it's about as open. Even if we one-hop it over there, if we can just get it to the dude, it's about as open as it can be. But, you know, it kind of goes back to, again, the same old cultural thing because we've worked that so many times for 2 weeks. You know, we've worked that so many times, never ever with that result, right? Never ever with that result. And Honeycutt told us after the game, he said, yeah, when me and DJP took the field, DJ looked at me and said, man, I'm so nervous. But from a cultural standpoint, like what we're going to tell that kid today is, why are you nervous? Why are you nervous? We're completely 100% convicted that you're the dude to do that, that it's going to work, it's going to be a great play, and it would have been, and that you're going to make that play. And as a coach, myself, Coach Suber, who's the kickoff return coach, you know, we're 100% convicted that we believe that you can do this. You've believed that you could do this for 2 weeks now as we've been practicing, and you've done it every day. So why now? Why on Saturday? Why do you have that chink in your armor where, man, I'm so nervous, what if this doesn't work? No, it's going to work. And again, we've got to get that twinkle back in our eye to where when plays like that come available, whether it's a 5-man box run, that's you know, that's got to be the put a fork in them, they're done. I believe this is going to be a big play for us. Not all of the question marks and, man, well, what if he does this? What if he does this? What if I throw it over his head? No, we're 100% convicted and believe that's going to work. So that's the biggest thing we'll talk about on that play is man, here it is. This is what it looks like when the ball's let go. This is what it looks like, and everybody in the room is going to go, oh, man. And DJ will put his head down. But then it's our job as coaches to tell him, say, listen, if we had it to do all back over again, we'd do it the same way with the same dude, and you would complete the ball, and it would have been a big-time play for us because we believe in you.